tonight's AEW Dynamite held surprises that I don't think anybody was expecting. But we're happy it happened. Let's get into it. Ignore the background. I got into the party late tonight, and I'm very tired, and I have work tomorrow. But tomorrow is also Collision, and I will be making a video for that as well. But for tonight, let's just do it live. We started off with Tony Schiavone in the ring, and he was there because he was going to do the official contract signing between MJF and Kenny Omega. And then I don't know if it was accidental or if it was on purpose and then somebody was just screwing with him, but pyrotechnics kept going off. And finally, he just kind of was like, what the hell? And then Chris Jericho's music hit. And Jericho came out and spent legitimately 3.5 minutes just standing in the ring, looking different directions. The crowd in that direction would react and cheer and chant and hoot and holler. And then finally, he was just like, Winnipeg, I'm home. And that was it. And then he left. So 6 minutes into the show, that's what we got. And it's a fun surprise. It's a good surprise. We missed you. We're glad you're back. Stop going out for milk, Dad. Immediately following that, we got a little bit of a backstage moment where Ospreay was attacking Moxley, and then Yuta came running in, and then Yuta got the crap beat out of him, and then Marina Shafir showed up, and a couple of referees and some security showed up. They pulled Ospreay back into the back somewhere, and that's just what that was. So fine. I mean, obviously Ospreay is on the warpath, but let's see how that affected him for the rest of the afternoon. Yeah. Then we finally got the contract signing. MJF came out in his suit. He did a whole, just a little walk down. He sat in his chair. His music cut. Omega's music hit. Omega came out geared up and ready to go, which I wasn't expecting. But he did have a match following all of this, so it was totally fine. No worries. They sat down. They both signed the contract. Then they kind of chirped at each other a little bit. And then MJF said some stuff, and Omega reacted to the stuff, and he flipped the table, and then he was gonna hit MJF. We all saw it happen. We saw how hard he was holding himself back. Mike Bailey came running down to the ring, also Canadian. They were in Winnipeg tonight. And he stopped Omega, pulled him aside, put him in the corner, gave him basically a timeout for like a minute, and then grabbed MJF's hand and was like, you're just trying to get him to ruin this match because you're scared because you know he can beat you and you know that you're about to lose that title. To which MJF was like, nah, fam, I'm good. I know I can beat him. And then Bailey was like, oh yeah? Well, how about this? I'll take you on tonight in my home country, the greatest country in the world, Canada. And MJF was like, all right, dog, you want to go? Let's do this. Suit up. I'll see you at the main event tonight. Which, again, that's surprise number 2. Because MJF doesn't just throw out matches and take them the same night and call it a day. So that was the main event. And it was good, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Now, moving on from that, we had The Demand versus Omega, Jack Perry, and Brody King. And that did not go the way I was hoping it would, but it was still a very good match. There was a moment where Bishop Khan and Toa Leona were double teaming on Brody King. They threw him at the guardrail in front of the Timekeepers area. And then Bishop Khan went to throw Toa Leona or Irish whip him, whatever. And Brody King moved. Toa Leona hit the guardrail. Brody King took out Bishop Khan real quick, turned around, ran directly at Toa Leona, and did a huge crossbody, took him over the guardrail, and through the Timekeeper's table. That was amazing. That was so much, and it was a lot, and it worked very well. So nothing more to say about that. Ricochet was also on fire. He was up and down and over and flying and rolling and reversing and doing everything he could to prove, or to continue to prove, because we all know this is true, he's one of the most talented wrestlers on the roster. So, I mean, he went from the floor to the top turnbuckle in probably 2.5 seconds, while he was just pinballing himself all around the space. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. Omega Perry and King ended up with the win, which fine. We have to boost Omega at the very least coming into this championship match in 11 days. So good stuff. Totally worth it. No issues. But more Ricochet, please. And thank you. We rolled that into a promo in the back for Willow. Because Collision is tomorrow, Thursday, the 2nd, she put out an open challenge for the TBS title. That was that whole thing. We're gonna see what happens tomorrow, and we're gonna move on. Then we hit commercial. We came back from commercial. Renee was in the back, and she was standing around one of the like back hallways. And she was like, "Oh, Cope and Cage are here tonight. They just got into the building, and hopefully we get to speak with them." And like magic, they came around the corner, each holding a chair. And Cope was like, "Oh yeah, no, we're looking for FTR. We need to handle some business tonight. We're going to take them out, and we're going to take out anybody who gets in our way." And then Christian Cage turned and was like, "Anybody who gets in our way," and like threatened to hit Renee with the chair. Cope stopped him. He got kind of fussy, and Cage walked off. And then Cope was just like, "Sorry, Renee, like, my bad." And then he followed after Cage. And he was just like, "Renee, really? Like, really? Like, you're going to, really? Renee? Of all people? Whatever." And then that was that. I'm sorry. And this is where the commercial break kicked in, because after we came back from the commercial break, Cage and Cope had found FTR's dressing room. Apparently, their placard was in a corner next to a door. So, found that. They busted in, and they were like, "Get ready." Blah, 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 blah. And it was RPG Vice sitting there, and they were like, "Whoa, like, this is their dressing room. They're not here. Would you like to leave a message?" To which Cage responded, "I'm pretty sure they're in our way." And Cope was like, "Yeah, no, they're totally in our way." So then they beat RPG Vice down with the 2 chairs, and they were like, "Pass along that message." Super silly, super funny, good stuff. So Rocky Romero got hit pretty hard. And it was fascinating, and I enjoyed every second of it. So just that's the message. They will be on the show tomorrow night, so I'm sure Cage and Cope are going to find them, and there's going to be hell, and it's going to be awesome. Past that, I couldn't tell you. We have to wait 21 hours until the show tomorrow. We moved from there to Pac versus Ospreay. Pac came out first, came through the audience, went to the ring, and then everything turned to the entrance ramp when Ospreay's music hit. Ospreay started to come down, and Pac somehow scampered around and attacked Ospreay from behind, hit him in like the shoulder, back of the neck, back of the head area, took him down, and then picked him up and hit him with a tombstone on the entry ramp, and that immediately brought all the medical people over to check on him. They started to walk him to the back when Pac went into the ring and just kind of loitered about. But Ospreay was like, "No, you know what? I'm having this match. This is happening." And it was an amazing showing for somebody who literally just came back from neck surgery. So there was both guys obviously high flyers, both guys obviously with a handful of strength, just agility out the wazoo. It was a really, really good match. There were plenty of reversals. There was a moment where Ospreay was seated facing the audience on one of the top turnbuckles, and Pac climbed up behind him and hit him with, like, I don't know, what are we going to call it, an avalanche poison rana. And Ospreay did a backflip, landed on his feet, and then when Pac got up and turned around, he went to go attack Pac, which then got hit with another reversal. So it was just reversal city the entire match. At the end of it, here's what happened. So Ospreay got the victory after several like crazy DDTs and stuff, and just all kinds of damage done to Ospreay's neck. Pac got Ospreay in a submission and was holding him. It's where you get the one arm through the legs, you come around, you get the other arm behind your arm, and then you put the crossface on, and that was the submission he was holding. And Ospreay reached a foot out, almost got the rope. Pac rolled it, and then Ospreay rolled it back just a little bit and got the quick 1, 2, 3, and that's how he won. And I didn't expect it. We all kind of knew that Ospreay was going to get the win, like you could feel it, but not in that way after so much damage was done to him, right? So just take that for what it's worth, and we'll figure it out from there. But obviously, as soon as Ospreay got the win, Pac was like, what the hell just happened? And then he started throwing hammer and anvil elbows at the neck, and Yuta came out, and Garcia came out, and the three of them started to beat him up, and Claudio came out with a chair, and Claudio put him in the same position he was in right before he left to go get the neck surgery with the chair, so like around, under, and then like so they can stomp and go snappy. And Moxley came walking out, and he was like, listen, I'm not going to end your life tonight because I think that it's amazing that you even came back, but you're making this personal. None of this is personal to me. Use your head before you lose it. And that was the whole thing. They left Ospreay there in the middle of the ring with a chair wrapped around his torso and his neck, and they dipped. And that was fine. Everything was fine. So this match in 11 days is going to be fantastic. I've already ordered the pay-per-view. I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. So keep an eye out for that. But immediately following that, we had the Triangle of Madness versus Mina Shirakawa and the Brawling Birds. And this is one that didn't go the way I was hoping. Once again, it's 2026. We showed at the beginning of the year that it could absolutely be the year of the heels. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Why is the Triangle of Madness racking up all these losses? That doesn't make any sense. They need more wins. Not just Tekla holding the title and her getting the victories. We need an entire front of these three women getting win after win after win after win and doing it gracefully. So, I'm upset that Mina and the Brawling Birds got the victory. There wasn't anything too crazy that happened during the match, but it was a good match. I still think that the Brawling Birds theme song is probably one of the top 3 in the company right now, or their entry music, not their theme song. It's the same thing, whatever. It's really good, and I it's on my Spotify listen list, so don't judge me. But Triangle Madness needs more wins. Thank you. Goodbye. We followed that up immediately with Darby Allin coming out and piping off and calling out MJF. And then the Don Callis family came back out, and Don Callis was like, hey, you've got a match coming up, and I think the best person in the family to go up against you would be Andrade. And Andrade looked super shocked, like he just won the poop lottery. I don't even know. He did not look thrilled. And then Don Callis was like, hey, MJF also paid us to do something extra. And he kind of turned around for a second, and he's like, go get him. And Lance Archer and Hechicero and El Clone all marched down to the ring. Darby threw his skateboard directly at Lance Archer's face. So he got off the apron and started to scamper away. And then we had Brody King and Jack Perry come out and save Darby Allin from El Clone and from Hechicero. And then the two of them got into the ring, and they kind of stared at Darby. And then Omega's music hit again, and Omega came back out, and Darby met him on the entry ramp after scampering past Perry and King. And they exchanged words, and I can't read lips, so I have no idea what they said. But then Darby went to the back, King went to the back, Perry went to the back, and Omega went to the commentary desk, because we got to our main event. And that, obviously, like we mentioned earlier, Bayley versus MJF. And it was hard-hitting. It was fast-paced. It showed that MJF still has the ring awareness of a young Ric Flair. He was sliding out of the ring, moving out of the ring, slowing things down, rolling out of the way of top rope attacks. It was phenomenal. Bayley also looked really good, so I'm glad that they're not only pushing Kevin Knight for all of this while they hold the trios titles, but it was good stuff. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a fun time. That was just how we ended the night. MJF got the victory after screaming "God bless America" and hitting a heat seeker. It was just everybody went wild tonight. And that brings me to match of the night, in my opinion. Definitely has to be Pac versus Ospreay. Just the fact that it was so lightning quick, but also full of strength and agility. It just, there was so much that happened, and I really enjoyed every second of it. Hopefully Ospreay gets the Continental title here in 11 days, but we will have to just watch and find out and see. So that's going to bring me to the end of my shenaniganery tonight. I am going to upload this on the internet quick, fast, and in a hurry, and then I'm going to go to bed because I do have to work tomorrow. It is kind of late at the moment. I'm very tired. So don't take any wooden nickels. Do a few things this week that make you happy. I will see you tomorrow night with another installment of a special Thursday Collision and then holiday weekend. So take care of yourselves. Peace.